There once was a little boy who lived on a farm with his family and their many animals, including a big, friendly dog. The dog had a name, but the boy couldn't remember it. He only remembered that it started with the letter G, so he called him Good Boy, and the dog loved it. He wagged his tail whenever the boy called him because he knew it was him. The boy loved the dog very much. They played fetch, and the dog would always bring the ball back to him. They played hide and seek, and the dog would always find him no matter where he hid. They were best friends. But one day the boy's family decided to move to the city. They sold the farm and all the animals except the dog. They left him behind because they said he wasn't worth the trouble of taking care of him anymore. The boy cried when they left him there, but his parents just told him to stop being a baby and get over it quickly. The boy kept crying until he fell asleep. When he woke up, the first thing he did was run to the porch and call out to his dog, "Good boy, come here, good boy." But the dog didn't come. The boy waited a long time, but the dog didn't show up. He was worried that his best friend had already forgotten about him. Just then, the dog came bounding out of the house. He licked the boy's face and wagged his tail furiously. Then he started whimpering and wouldn't stop. The boy didn't know what to do. He tried to pet the dog, but he just yelped and ran away. The boy felt terrible. He didn't know what he'd done wrong. He went back home and asked his parents why the dog was acting that way. They just shrugged and told him to stay out of their hair. Days turned into weeks, and the boy couldn't understand why his dog hated him now. It broke his heart. He visited the farm every day and called out to the dog, but every time the dog just snarled and snapped at him. The boy was so sad that his best friend didn't recognize him anymore. Then one day, the boy came to the farm and noticed that the dog was lying on the porch. He was old and couldn't walk well anymore. The boy sat down next to him and gently stroked his fur. The dog flinched at first, but then he relaxed and closed his eyes. The boy stayed with the dog for hours, and when he looked up, he noticed that it was getting dark. He realized that he hadn't seen the sun the whole time because the dog had laid his body across the doorway. He had shielded the boy from the sunlight and kept him in the shade all day. The boy was deeply moved. He understood that the dog wasn't angry with him even though he couldn't see. His heart could still feel love. The boy stayed with the dog until he fell asleep. Then he went home. He didn't understand why his parents had been so mean to the dog. All he knew was that he needed to take care of him now. The boy asked his parents if they could take the dog with them to the city. They agreed, and the boy happily took the dog to his new home. It wasn't the same without his dog. Every day he would look out the window hoping to see him playing in the yard. But one day he saw something that made him run to the front door. There was his dog walking toward him. The boy opened the door, and the dog came in. He was dirty and skinny, but the boy didn't care. He hugged his dog and was so happy that he had found him. The dog licked the boy's face and wagged his tail. Then he looked up at the boy with his big brown eyes and seemed to say, "I never forgot you." The boy took care of the dog for the rest of his life. He fed him and walked him and gave him lots of love. The dog was happy to be with his boy again, and when he got old and gray, the boy knew that it had been worth it.